Let's see. I don't understand why my internet is so bad. Why would we pay for horrible internet service? Why? I don't know why every day my stream cuts out. And I didn't even realize it until I was reading the comments. And somebody said there's just a spinning wheel, which I appreciate. Thank you for letting me know. My apologies for not reading the comments. I was busy in conversation, and now I don't know. I gotta wait for it to upload to see if the stream even recorded, if it was just the internet disconnecting. But where I live in America, internet is, a fickle thing. We're in the year of our Lord 2025, and we haven't figured out just how to ensure internet service is good for all. It's just one of those things, man. It's like one day, maybe in 2050, when the earth is scorched, they'll be like, we got it. We figured it out. We got the lines laid and the Wi-Fi signal is good. But for some reason, we pay top dollar for internet and it breaks up. Frustrating. Frustrating. And especially when you're trying to do a show, You know what I mean? Do you understand that? Can you understand? Can you relate? Like everybody relates to Joe Rogan? Totally normal everyman. Joseph Penelope Rogan. I believe that's his middle name. Could be wrong, but I'd like to think it's Joseph Penelope Rogan. So yeah, so my apologies. It seems like right as we get into the swing of things in the live stream, it cuts out. The internet goes, you've used too much internet for today. You don't pay for limits, but we're certainly going to limit you. Or it could be, I don't know, I'm talking about Palantir and they're listening. If you're listening, Palantir, here's a finger for you. Did you hear Stephen Miller? Fascist beach bimbo, Stephen Miller? Absolute monster for humanity. Just not a good guy. This guy, sorry, he scared me. I actually linked this Southern Poverty Law Center, SPLC, article about fascist beach bimbo Steve Miller, seen here watching Slender Man take children away, lusting after it. But yeah, his uncle came out of the woodwork. What was his interview on? TikTok? No, can't be. Must have been news. There was a news thing, but a TikToker clipped it, and Steve Miller's uncle was saying stuff about him.
Towards desperate people trying to enter the country. I had been posting my opinions on Facebook for the past year or two, but various members of the family, as well as myself, thought I could no longer have a, how should we say, a quiet voice on the subject. And I write this more in sadness than in anger. I've spent my life trying to help people. I've been working in clinical neuroscience for my entire career. I've spent my life trying to help diagnose people and help them get well.
This is his uncle.
I have not been interested in having public notoriety. I've been interested in having my private life and taking care of.
And I think Stephen Miller's uncle is doing the right thing here. If your nephew is this shit turd, you got to speak out. You got to be like, hey, we disown this asshole. He's clearly not coming to Thanksgiving or Christmas. So you can find that. I don't want to play this boring. Boring. We know he's beach bum Hitler. Boo. You suck, Stephen. You suck. What I really wanted to talk about was don't be scared of being disliked by losers, Theo Vaughn. Theo Vaughn, if you're going on podcasts, don't be scared for those losers to dislike you. Okay? I'm not going to say whose podcast, but Theo, do not be scared. Okay? You question that authority. Theo just wants to get invited back to the comedy spaceship. What is it called? I don't know. where they legally are allowed to say the R word again. Good on them. You know, that's the hero's fight right there. If you're gonna, you know, take a stand, it's take a stand to say that R word, even though you always could, always have been able to. But that's a good place to, you know, that's one of the battles of today. I know there's a lot of headlines going around, folks. Where is the headline? Where is it? I know there's a lot of headlines going around. I don't know if this is a sign for the economy that foreclosures are surging. I don't know. That could be a sign, couldn't be a sign. I don't know. But let's just say the battle that Americans are fighting right now is, can you say the R word? Is comedy legal? Oy. Oh, that's really like the battle, you know, to legalize. To
legalize comedy.
Thank you, Elon. Thank you. This is a man's fight. This is a skibbity alpharisma fight. Legalize comedy. But Theo, don't be scared, you know, to disagree with this alpha chode. Is that what they're called now? I can't follow along with the alpha universe. Are they called alpha chodes or not? Are they called beta skidmas? Beta skid stains. Are they called alpha chodes or beta skid stains? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll go to urbandictionary.com later. Joe Rogan getting sensitive when old Theo Vaughn talks about Palantir. Palantir, the drone surveillance government contract subcontractor that wants to monitor you at all times, especially when you sleep. I'm guessing. I don't know. What's their mission statement on their website? I don't know. But Joe Rogan, if you don't know, is good friends with Peter Palantir Eater. And Joe has like on his fucking extended family, Peter Palantir's extended family on his podcast now. Joe Rogan is just like a CIA asset, I think. That's it. And he used to like question these things and be like, coincidence? I think not. Oh, how funny. Palantir and Peter Thiel want our tax money to surveil us. We'll challenge that. You know, and now he's like, let me just take devil's advocate here.
And they can shut you down. It's just like, I don't know.
It's sketchy times.
Well, it's sketchy times. I mean, the same company, that company Palantir that was doing all that crazy stuff in Gaza, in Gaza, and they were like, you know, running all the drones and stuff like this, allegedly.
What are you talking about?
I love Joe's take on that. I really love Joe's reaction. What do you mean? What are you talking? Peter, my friend? I mean, who? Palantir? What do you think they're doing? I don't know about that. Can we look that up?
What are you saying they did?
That they had, like, were compiling data on people that were there, and they were operating a lot of the drones in the sky that also had weapons attached to them.
What? Palantir? The people that are doing that here, that the government's paying to operate the drones here, they're doing that there too? No, I don't think so.
Okay, so you mean like facial recognition data?
Right.
Do they have that capability with drones?
Yeah, did they have that capability? Joe, can we find that? Is there like an internet we could look this up on? Do drones have facial recognition? I know it was like a 80s sci-fi movie thing, but is that like real now? What do we got? Hoverboards too? Back to the Future? DeLoreans? Give me a break.
Where they could just zoom around?
Oh, poor Joe. Does he think facial recognition means zooming around? Poor guy. Or does he mean zoom, like you could do a Zoom call on the drone? We'll never know. Nobody's going to have the chance to ask him.
Is this horseshit? Is it real?
I love Joe trying to persuade the truth to be more what he wants it to be. Is this horseshit? It's real. Oh, God. He's like a fucking Shakespearean character.
Jamie's not even willing to talk on camera.
Yeah, because it's your best friend, Peter Palantir Eater. They're talking about him. Why do you think you're like, I don't know if Palantir can do that. Can you do the facial recognition with the drone?
He's just he's giving me winks and nods.
Theo. I didn't catch that the first time we went over this. Y'all seen Alex Karp selling stock in his own company after trying to tell people it's only going to go up in a couple weeks ago? No, I didn't, Canyon Videos. Alex Karp, dangerous Vermonter. No, he lives in New Hampshire, sorry. Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir, probably good friends with Pete Thiel and Jojo Robro. He lives up in New Hampshire. I want this guy to admit we shouldn't have borders or private property. Mick Ruff. Hey, what's up, Francis? Good to see you. No borders, no private property. Okay. Back to the topic.
Sure,
Yeah, they do.
But we have a
No,
big,
no, no, no,
They got a
listen.
big contract in America now, which is scary to me. That's what's scary to me. That a drone could go by. That maybe that's what happened to Charlie Kirk. Who knows? Maybe a drone. You just have no who you can even point the finger at. A bullet comes out of the middle of nowhere.
True.
That's the kind of. I'm not saying
Let
I'm
me push-
paranoid
let me
about it
push
all the
back
time.
against that.
I'm just.
Let Joe push back against that. You're talking about his friend, Peter Thiel at Palantir. Let him push back, Theo. God, you're a guest. Remember that in this house.
Saying I have.
Listen.
Okay.
He's like, shut your mouth. I need to defend my friend Peter Thiel, Palantir eater.
So
You're right. However,
Anybody ever says you're right, however, just know that they don't care. You're not right. What the however says is you're not right. You're right, however, you're not.
China's making drones.
Woo! Love it. Hey, what's up, Eddie Thornton? Good to see you. Good to see you, Francis. I love that Joe Rogan went to the old reliable. Have you ever thought about China? We need our tax money to be paid to billionaire Peter Thiel and Alex Karp and their surveillance state company, Palantir. We need the taxpayers to pay for that. Because have you thought of China? Joe Rogan's going to throw a Russia in here later, too. So just so you know, Joe's bringing out the big guns, the big defense. When he goes, let me push back a little bit. China? It's the greatest scare tactic any American's ever heard. You want Sam the Eagle to poop his pants? You just say, have you thought about China? Russia? Is that getting you? Is that getting you all nervous and sweaty? I love it, Joe. Yeah, play that card, the China card.
And they're making really good ones. Way more sophisticated than our drones.
Yeah, they're the best drones in the world. That's why we buy all our drones from China.
If you don't have drone development and some kind of drone defense system in America,
Yeah, if you're not testing it on the American people and letting ICE use it and surveilling citizens, then what, Joe? What? I gotta figure out.
if you say, oh, no one should have that kind of power, you're right. No one should have that kind of
So are we right, or are you gonna defend it?
power. However, China already does.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you just have no innovation. And
That's where we're going with it. Awesome. All right, we made it there, folks. We found the excuse for Peter Thiel and Palantir. That's Joe is, thinking on the fly, and he's not good at that. Do you not want innovation? I want you to think about this. China, Russia, no innovation. We have to have Palantir surveilling us and having facial recognition drones. Or do you not like innovation? Oh, you don't like the iPhone 21? Okay. All right. Don't like innovation, do you? Don't like a dishwasher. Oh, I just want an ice box instead of a fridge. You hate innovation. Great. Oh, so what are you saying then? Palantir's okay. Thank you. Thank you. Shut your house. This is my house. Shut your mouth. This is my house, is the saying.
you have no way to implement. And
I can tell Joe is caught a little off guard. He didn't know today was the day he was going to be having to put his reputation on the line for Palantir, and doing that by the Red Scare and the Cold War, it's what we call the greatest hits, the classics, the old reliable, old trusty. Have you thought about China? Do you hate innovation?
any kind of defense system with drones in America, but it's already in China, it's already in Russia, you're kind of in trouble.
Yeah, you're
So you have
fucked,
to have
man.
something in that space.
You have to.
You got to be moving forward into
That's right, Theo. Are you getting it? Peter Thiel, good. Palantir, good. China, Russia, Palantir, good. This is how it goes, folks. I'm not an asset. Not compromised. Yes. Pff. Me and Peter are having Thanksgiving together. What of it? What of it? What of it? We're going to drone watch you with our facial recognition. Well, you're at your Thanksgiving. What of it? What of it? What of it? I love Joe Rogan. He is just an everyman, you know. He really is just the common man. China, Russia, innovation.
Like, yeah, you got to have the weapons other people are going to have.
It's like
Theo sounds terrifying. He's like, I treaded into Joe Rogan waters, and the Joe Rogan Mosasaurus is coming to eat me.
the nuclear bomb. If they're already doing it, you better fucking get it.
Yeah, and test it on your people. Right, Joe? That's what Palantir's doing.
You better get it.
I think, yeah, to me,
Joe looks like a... Oh, I hate to say this. He looks compromised. He looks like... Are you believing me? Are you believing me? Is this argument good? Randy, daily reminder, God loves you. That's right. God does love you. And he also said the greatest commandment is love God and your neighbor unselfishly. Palantir's not doing that. But don't bring that up to Joe. Don't bring it up to Joe. You know what? I'm not worried about these losers. Where's the thing? Where's the thing? I want to show you the thing, because there are going to be losers in your life always, folks. Don't be scared to be disliked by them, okay? Very important. So when you see them losers in the chat, don't you sweat it. Do you see the comments on this video? Never seen Joe redirect a conversation this much. Joe redirecting the combo. I love the 8 minutes Theo had to talk. Theo slowly realizing Joe is a part of the group he's trying to talk about. These comments are amazing. I'm here for the comments. People finally realizing what Joe Rogan has become, or who he's become. Theo's way smarter than Joe thinks. If Theo wasn't there, I wouldn't be watching. You can't be a truth seeker if you ignore certain issues because your rulers don't want you to discuss it. Hilarious. Where was the other thing that Joey said? Joey. I wish they called him Joey. You know?
thoughts. I don't know what's going on. And I don't need anybody to believe my thoughts or think the same way I do. I think the thing that made me nervous was that same company, Palantir, got a deal in America to create a database and help with like surveillance and stuff. So that just makes me scared.
That's a legit, like, why is Joe Rogan playing defensive on this? Theo makes a good point. Palantir got a government contract, taxpayer money, to create a virtual database and surveil people. Last I checked, Americans were against that. You know, like, we don't need you know, using all our metadata to sell us sneakers or whatever the fuck it is. And Joe's like, I don't know, really? You must hate innovation then. You gotta surveil your own citizenry if you're gonna innovate. No, that doesn't work. China, Russia. You know, like, this is such a pathetic fucking simp for Peter Palantir eater.
You know, it made me a little bit nervous. Not scared, but just like a little bit.
Theo, I wish, goddamn, I wish I could show Theo Vaughn that meme. It's like, goddamn, Theo, don't be scared of, don't be scared to be disliked by losers, man. These people that want to surveil you and the people like Joe that want to defend it, they're losers, you know? They wouldn't be, if Joe Rogan wasn't best friends with Peter Palantir eater, Joe would be having an issue with this. But Joe's like, what? Me and Petey Palantir go bouncing on the slides together. You ever seen a, human bounce that high? What is he, 3'2"? That's an old joke. That was a cheap one. That was a Brendan Schwab style Kill Tony type joke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I wish I could give Theo a hug because he's nervous. He's like, we're being surveilled, man. We're doomed. And I don't think he knows that Joe Rogan, seen right here as standing like a common man. Joe is best friends with Peter Thiel. So, Theo like isn't aware of that. So in Joe's mind, they're just having different conversations. Theo's like, we're going to all be surveilled. And this is terrifying because they're using our tax dollars to pay a billionaire to surveil us and create this database. And Joe's like, my friend's not going to bug me. My friend Pete at Palantir Inc. Co. I don't give a shit if he's surveilling you. That's Joe's take now. It seems like he's done the full metamorphosis into billionaire. It's not going to affect me. Go fuck yourself. You know, that's what they all think until, you know, they all realize that when the oceans are dried up and we're fighting in the Nestle water wars, you can't take your yacht anywhere, dick. God damn. Theo, you deserve a hug, bro. You seemed really, like, nervous about this, and that's, you know, that's valid. Theo, your feelings are valid. Jesus, we need Mr. Rogers more than ever. Theo, your feelings are valid to be worried about Palantir's surveillance state. And don't listen to Joe fear-mongering China-Russia innovation. You know, like, Joe's compromised, man.
Bit like, what's going on here? Are we going to enter a surveillance state, you know?
We already are in one.
Well, that's one of the arguments for letting chaos take place.
Just not going to let him talk anymore. This is my show. You want his show, you go to the Joe Rogan Polio program. Yachts are the new kingdoms. This will be their kingdoms. You can't listen, when the oceans dry up and we're fighting in the Nestle water wars, what are you bouncing into? A pile of sand, Joe? Huh? A dried up coral reef, Joe? Joe Rogan is super trash, 100%. He's 100% super trash. That should be his nickname. Old Joe Super Trash Rogan. My God, folks, my God. But I had to show you that because that is something, you know? Theo, I believe he expressed real human emotion there. He was like, I'm just kind of, he's even like fidgeting. Like if you see Theo he's like, I'm just kind of like, he looks like the fucking dude needs a pat on the back and like, Theo, is a valid concern. I understand it, man. These billionaires and their surveillance state is creepy. That's a real feeling, and feel that, Theo. You know, and Joe's just like, well, Peter is my friend, and he's not going to do it to me. Have you ever thought about you hate innovation and that China has drones, Theo? You sound kind of silly. It's like, God damn, Joe. You are the abusive boyfriend in this relationship, and I'm standing up to it. You can't get people to agree with you by insulting them. Oh, yeah? You tell Donald Trump that. You know what Donald Trump said? Do you know? Oh, man, there's a clip for everything.
Smart people don't like me.
He says, smart people don't like me. And, man, did those morons line up and applaud. We love you, sir. We love you. What? Smart people don't like it. What's he talking about? And then all their business is closed. Oh, America's having a tough time. America's having a tough go at it. I love it. Dude, every day of your life is Trump. He's the president and he's crashing our fucking economy. He's looting the government and crashing the economy. They're putting forever chemicals in the food. And I don't know, maybe you could tell me if this is like a good sign or a bad sign for what's to come. But under Trump, foreclosures are surging. Is that a sign of prosperous times? Is that what that means, you fucking idiot? God damn, man. I love how people are like, man, the president's really getting on your nerves. It's like, yeah, he's sending his private police that are ignoring federal court orders and trying to use the military on our own citizens. Like, that would bug you if it was Joe Biden, but because it's your fucking golden calf, a little quiet piggy, you know, you're like, oh, fine, everything's okay. Shut your hole. Shut your hole. What is this? Oh, yeah. Did you see this? Donald Trump said this. Trump congratulated Pepe, two billionaire brothers, Alfonso, Jose, Fonjul. Jose is Pepe. Trump congratulated Pepe for his monopoly in sugar. That's just the president saying, congrats on your monopoly. You know, something that America is supposed to be against, monopoly. I don't know. But yeah. But I'm totally, you know, concerned with Trump. Well, I don't know. Some would say for good reason, because, you know, he's a pedo guardian of the pedos. Just released the files. Isn't that funny? When are the files coming out? He signed it. When are we getting the Epstein files? Anybody know? Anyone? He signed it. What's taking so long? Why are we not getting his best friend's list and files of things that him and his best friend potentially did? You know, if he's so innocent, why doesn't he just release those? My God. Oh, did you guys see this? Someone with no education, unable to speak English, is able to walk across the border and take your job, qualify for a loan to the home that you wanted. We need to talk about your upgrading your basic skills. This is the only time I'll talk about basic skills and the requirements from humanity. What's up, Bob? What's up, man? I saw this. I thought it's so funny because you always hear Republicans be like, "Oh, they're taking all our jobs." It's like, I've never said that in my life, not once. And they could if they wanted to. I don't give a shit. I hate jobs. You love jobs. You worship jobs. Fuck a job. But it's funny that this is like the rally cry of the right. Oh, they're taking our jobs and our homes. Weird hill to die on. It's KRAR. Oh, yeah, YouTube has been doing a bunch of funny stuff. I'm sorry. Good to see you, KRAR. Really good to see you, man. Good to see you. I don't know why they keep changing stuff. YouTube. You're messing with the wrong stuff. Give us a filter where we can filter videos from people with 0 to 100 subscribers, 100 to 10,000, 10,000 to 1,000,000. Give us cool stuff. Don't stop messing with the other things. I remember you in your car with like 9 viewers. Keep stirring the pot. Thank you. See, for all you guys that hate, there's somebody who's been here since the beginning. When you guys are like, I don't know, people are always trying to be dicks. It's so easy to try and be a D, but it's a real talent to be a good one. Let's say that. That's some life advice. But yeah, I told you. I said I was doing this live stream before there were people here. I was doing when there's a couple people in a car. I still do it from the car when I'm busy. But yeah, I do this because you got to speak out. There's fascism abroad and at home, and you got to be concerned about the one at home. So we got to stand up and speak out, especially when you got puppets like Joe Rogan, defending Peter Thiel and Palantir. Really? That's the fucking, that's the side you're taking, Joe? Okay, everyman. Okay, common man. Okay. What's the thing in the back say? And for the person who says you refuse to acknowledge my comments, I'm going to keep refusing. You want some attention? Go do your own live stream. My God, some of these people are desperate. Look at me. Look at me. But yeah, so we were talking about Theo Vaughn and his valid concern of a surveillance state, and Joe Rogan, allegedly a good friend of his, I don't know, just dismissing it and, fear-mongering. Joe's response to Theo was, China has drones. Russia has drones. What, do you hate innovation? Like the typical right-wing grift talking points. My God. I saw this, Charles Bukowski. Sadness is caused by intelligence. The more you understand certain things, the more you wish you didn't understand them. I think that's what we're seeing here with Theo Vaughn. I think he's understanding the repercussions of a surveillance state where the government is using our tax dollars to pay a billionaire, Peter Thiel and Alex Karp and Palantir, to surveil us and create a database. No good will come of this. And in the land of the free, you would hope more people would speak out against it. But apparently, lamestream media, Joe Rogan, everyday common man, is like totally fine with it, because Russia, China, innovation, and that's it. That was a good point, Joe. Jeez. Elaborate. Okay, guys. I don't think you think Joe Rogan's liberal? Yeah, Joe Rogan, the guy who interviewed Donald Trump and said, I helped get him elected and has been stomping for Donald Trump is a little, okay. Oh, you're hilarious. Joe Rogan, many, many years ago, had some thoughts of like, hey, Bernie Sanders is pretty cool. Humans should not die from lack of access to healthcare. But he is no longer. He is a regime puppet. He is the North Korean news lady for Donald Trump. And he's a punk. All right, guys. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm here every single weekday bringing you the news. I go out into the news jungles and I harvest only the best and ripest news for you. And I bring it to you with a mini pack of hyenas chasing at my tail. And I deliver that news to you so you can do whatever you want with it. The links are not below because this is the second live stream because the first one cut out. And thank you, Noah, by the way. Noah, thank you for being like, hey, man, something's going on with the stream. I appreciate that. I should have read the comments. My apologies, I didn't. He's an elitist. There is no left or right. Noah, nail on the head. Thank you. This isn't a culture war, friends. There is no left and right. It's a class war. It is Joe is one of the elites. You can see him here on his mega yacht, jumping on his bumpy slide. And I hate to break it to him, but when that climate stuff happens, he's not going to be jumping into anything but dirt. So you might want to care about the earth. I don't know. Might want to. So yeah, this is not a guy on a mega yacht who's like, ooh, I'm a liberal. No, he's an elitist. MAGA used to be against like the coastal elites. Joe Rogan he's from Massachusetts. He was living in California. There's 2 coasts if I've ever seen one, and he's a elite. So I don't know. These people, it's weird. Once you start breaking this shit down to them, like Joe Rogan, coastal elite. Yeah, he moved to Austin, but technically isn't Austin pretty close to that Texas coast? Still elite no matter what. So stop thinking left or right. This is about Joe Rogan defending Palantir, Peter Palantir reader, and Alex Karp, and saying like, hey, a surveillance state wouldn't be that bad. You know why? Russia, China. What do you hate? Innovation? It's remarkable. Seen here just being a common man on his mega yacht. In Croatia, by the way. When you're just taking your mega yacht to Croatia with that huge bouncy slide. Just like a normal weekend, long 3-day weekend. That's it. So thank you, Noah. Because, yeah, this isn't political, folks. This is classist. This is classical. Nope, that has a different meaning. Damn it. I think you mean everyday man. Yes, I could mean that too. He earned the money. Yeah, he worked hard sitting in that studio saying the N-word. All right, guys, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Peace.